asshole? Okay, pal. You stand right there. Now, I don't want to have to hurt you. All I'm going to do is slip these cuffs on. And no funny stuff. I know how to use this. Garbage day! Huh? No!
Excuse me, mister.
That's okay. Drop your weapon! Drop it! I repeat, drop it! Now! No! Don't do it! No! It's not worth it! Don't be a fool! Don't do it! Don't kill yourself!
Hello? Mic check. My name is Hunter, and you're tuned into Trash and Treasure. I am so out of practice. So out of practice. And I got distracted fucking kicking a dude out of my fucking thing. Ugh. Mic check, yeah, the shit, right? It wasn't even paired up with anything. Anyway, we're live. Hello everyone. How's it going today? You're tuned in to Trash and Treasure, as I had mentioned. My name is Hunter. We're back. It's been definitely 2 months, almost 3 now? 2.5? Did y'all like my intro? I fucking stayed up so late this morning, technically, working on that. Every year, every time we do a TNT Awards, I always make sure to have some sort of funny intro based around like an old movie. What do y'all think? That's twice he's failed his turn in now. To clean it up, I'm not going to clean it up till I know we're actually fucking off and going to the races. Fuck your points. That was a waste of points. Anyway, we all know why we're here. And for those who don't, let's re-summarize. At the end of every year, we go back, we look back at all the games I streamed, all the games I played on stream, and we rank them. We tier them, we talk about them generally. And it's a fun way for me to kind of bookmark the year, and B, it's also cool to like kind of look back. And what I kind of hope to get out of this too is also like maybe, because my whole shtick is like I play games typically that most people don't sometimes. And so I would kind of like to increase their exposure. So let's just double catch up on chat and then we'll begin. Simple as that. Kobe has redeemed Clean It Up. Shirt. Oh, and Flames has subscribed for 20 months in a row. My gosh, it's almost been 2 years. Look at that. Time flies when you're doing nothing. It's not that I'm not having fun. It's just that if a tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound? If a man has fun with themselves playing video games, is he really a screamer? Ew. No name soda and fucking old warm rum. Oh, I broke the 5 minutes. Well, I guess we'll restart the 5 minute counter. I also haven't slept very well. So yeah, a good way to burn through the 5 minutes of cleanliness is to explain the criteria before we begin. So, like I said, every game that we did that we streamed in 2022, and I kind of look at it from four-ish different points of view. Gameplay, right? Obviously, the story, the writing, the art direction, and the music. I don't actually care about graphics per se. I don't care, like, and you'll see too as you'll start picturing what I look for in a game as we start to go through them. You better put OOT in D or lower. OOT. Oh, that's this guy right here. Ocarina of Time. Also, I have a green screen now. Although I'm having trouble keying. I got a halo effect around me. I didn't have too much time to experiment with it yet. So that'll be fun. I already in my head have so many cool ideas like I want to try to do with this. What was I going to say too? You shouldn't judge on graphics when your game range is literally like 90. Yeah, there's something to that. Plus like an art direction will carry a game more to me. You could that like okay, I'm not super into like the whole retro 8-bit indie game thing like every indie game nowadays tries to do because it's easy. But if it makes sense in an art direction sense, then yeah, not only is it easier to compare between generations, but even just nowadays, that's how I can put like something like Elden Ring next to something like Trackmania. Okay, the graphics, there's no two modern games. They're not gonna, but art direction I can judge on. And then music, of course, is just music. Gameplay is gameplay, and writing is writing, which, for games like Trackmania and whatnot, sucks to be you. Sucks to be you. 1730, 1930. Wow, this is the longest 5 minutes of cleanliness ever. Trackmania can look sick sometimes. I don't know, I'm too busy focused on going fast that I never get to enjoy it. Yeah, I haven't actually, I lost it. Like when my, for those who don't know, the reason I was gone for 2+ months is my computer got just completely wiped essentially. I haven't re-downloaded Trackmania yet. I liked it. It was a fun game, but it's just such a hassle to have a separate launcher and another platform account. So yeah. Yeah. And then the one last explainer, you might already notice there's a couple games already ranked, already on the board. And that's because those are ones that we have previously ranked. So ones we played the previous year, 2019, 2018, whatever. And those are the ranks they've had last year. I still can adjust them. Speaking of which, let's begin. Let's look. We got what? 1 minute more of cleanliness. Let's take a look at what we got. Let's start here by reviewing last year's entrance. So Digimon in the S tier, that's going to stay right there. In fact, I've been doing, I saw this video, it was a series of videos, all around 17 to 20 minutes long, explaining the mechanics behind a lot of the features. So like, say care mistakes, right? And the guy had like the code, the actual code for the game, and you could see you would like go like, oh, scold the guy one too many times, and you would see like 17 numbers and codes just start changing. Like it's like, wow, this game is intricate as all get out. So no, Digimon will always be S tier. Yes, it's got tons of problems, but a game can have problems for me to like it. You know, I can like something imperfect, just like how people can like Super Mario 64. I can like Digimon. That Digimon is a B tier game. I don't see how. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's non-canonical. It's missing some what I consider some pretty key Digimon, and like they have like wrong ones in wrong places. Like, oh, Waymon, he's a champion level. No. So, but that's part of the problem with it was that it wasn't meant to be a Digimon game. They built this whole game out, and then they were like, "What do we do with it? It's a little tough. Digimon needs a console game. Let's just slap Digimon on this, and it works for me." Oh, cool. We could swear now too. Kobe's has been paid up. Thank God. What the fuck is up, says Lad? Not much, Lad. What's up with you, bro? Myth is here too. My God, everyone's here. Fantastical. So yeah, so Digimon's gonna stay in the B tier. Unfortunately, Crossout. We got to play some Crossout this year. We got to play as a group, which was fun, really fun. But I've tried playing Crossout a couple more times now. What if we sweep again? I mean, you're only just hurting the fun at this point. As a once wait, Digimon's staying in B tier? No, Digimon's S tier. Do you got eyes? Where's your eyes? Is B next S on the keyboard? No, it isn't. Is B next S on the Australian keyboard? I just realized you have a green screen. I do have a green screen. No. Digimon stays in S tier. Crossout, on the other hand, I have fun with it. I do. I played it recently by myself, and they're just adding too much to the game, I feel, and they're not polishing it. They're just content. So I'm actually gonna go on a limb and say no. Crossout, even though I still have tons of fun with it, is in fact gonna be a B tier game. I thought I heard B tier and it's in S tier as well. Yeah? No, Digimon is S tier. Rocket League, it's so basic, and that's what saves it. So it can stay in A tier. And Twisted Metal 2, it was great. We got to do as part of the Ion Game Challenge. We all got to play it. Everyone had tons of fun. It's not it's got a couple of problems about it that actually are not like fun, ignorable problems. They're kind of like annoying in such a fast, short game. So it'll stay A tier, which I mean, nothing to scoff at. Nothing to scoff at. And then finally, Fall Guys down in D, and you think like, oh, we had so much fun with Fall Guys, right? How could you hate a game that's so? The music is nothing at best and egregious at worst. It's grating. Elden Ring better be F tier. Oh, we're gonna have some fun today. The gameplay of Fall Guys is solid, but the art direction I don't like. like, but it's not enough to change. It could stay in D tier. So cross out, bump to B. Everything can stay where it's at. I'm pretty happy with that. And now we can begin with the new games. Let's go alphabetical here. So that'll start with and another thing too. I do not have. I didn't pre-think this. I figured I was cheating. So it's literally going to be in the moment we're deciding, right? We start with Amazing Island. Yet another 2022 Ion Game Challenge game. I can't wait for the fights. I don't know. I don't expect too many fights. Actually, I never expect too many fights. It always happens. So I guess, let them come. I think out of the four participants, well, obviously other than Flair, because it was his choice for the game, I think out of the other three, though, I was the most appreciative of the game. I got it. I liked it. I saw what they were doing. I liked what they were doing. I thought the event was breath of fresh air. So, I mean, I know like the others the other participants probably be thinking like more EF. I don't think so. I would say, see, the music, I don't actually remember the music, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means it's there. Flame says you're welcome. Like, so the music was just kind of meh. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. I just meh. The gameplay was fun for, I don't know how long I'd be able to play a game where I spend 70% making a monster, 30% quests and minigames. I don't know how much that would hold me, but for what I played, it was kind of perfect. Like a get in, get out 2 hour type game. The story was non-existent. Like even the parts I had to research, the music is grating. Honestly, I don't even remember it. I don't even remember it. I remember looking up some of like the when I was looking up the game there, and the story was. Granted, we didn't play anything with the story, and art direction. Well, that doesn't really count. Although I will say, it is kind of and it's a period of its time. That was an ugly time for video games. When like the GameCube era was a GameCube slash early PS3 slash Xbox, just Xbox. There was some really ugly games, and they were like mainstream games, and that was one of them. Even though a lot of it's like your art direction, the other guys, they're all ugly, they're all hideous. It's all fucking bright colors and shit. It stinks. Flip that around. You design one monster and do all the courses. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, maybe. Have you played SV? The fuck is SV? Siphon Filter? Oh, my nose is stuffed. No, I assume you're talking Scarlet Violet. Yeah. Nope. Negative. Like I was telling Arethius there recently, I'm probably not going to touch Pokemon for a couple generations, if at all, ever again, until they kind of figure out they're cottoning on to something, but it's not polished enough for me to drop $90 or whatever they're asking for nowadays. So I'm just hanging back, let them do their thing. Amazing Island. It's is D tier. It's D tier to me. D tier is still a pass. Am I gonna go out and own it? No. Did I have fun playing it? Yeah. Would I continue to have fun playing it? 90, where do you live? Not in America. As simple as that. If we buy you the game, would you play it? No. No, I wouldn't want you guys to buy me anything anyway. And even if you guys did, I mean, would I play it? Yeah. Okay. If someone like, if I had the game for free, you know, a family crashed their car into the curb, car blew up, and the Pokemon card flew out and landed in my pocket. Would I play it? Yeah. But no, I would. If you guys bought it for me, I'd refund it for charity or something. Yeah. Flair just bought you a sub, technically. Oh boy, that literally doesn't even cover the taxes on buying that goddamn game. What's next? Oh shit! Speaking of ugly, speaking of ugly games that were fucking Ape Escape 2. Ape Escape 2. That's how I got the Ghostbusters remastered. You fucking a school bus exploded and the disc flew out the window, in through my window and right into my console. Craziest thing. Okay, Ape Escape 2. We all know the music. We all know how I feel about Ape Escape 2, but let me try and scientifically explain how I feel about Ape Escape 2. You loved it more than Ape Escape? Yes. Yes. The music fucking blew. Uh, I legitimately cannot think of No, I want to say the beach level had a single level had good music, and the rest of it stunk. That's what you get for replacing Soichi Terada. That's a fucking shame. Art direction, you want to go like, well, it's just apes, man. It's just like the first one. The fucking first one didn't have a dude with shit, literal feces in his teeth. There was no dick jiggle physics in the first one. Spike didn't have the breathe right strips. He did have the linebacker breathe right. Like it just, there was no like it was a horrendous game. It was a horrendous looking game. Has the game ever placed higher than Digimon World? Yes. Yes, a handful have. Well, not like higher like S plus, but in S tier, yes. There has been a quite a handful. The what jiggle physics? The dick jiggle physics. This is Yellow Monkey, and they treat him like a comedy character, but he's grating at best. And he like one of the many fights because they love him is a sumo fight, and he does like a weird sumo hit at you, and if you hit him just right to block it, he's got gut jiggle physics, but he's got dick jiggle physics, and you're like. So it's an ugly fucking game. Nothing to report music wise. Was it bad? Comparatively, it's hard. I can't compare it to just normal shit. I got to compare it to Ape Escape. And compared to Ape Escape, yeah, it was fucking bad. Compared to other video games, no, it was fucking. And then the worst part is Ape Escape with its pure gameplay. It's that dual stick, quick. That's what I like about Ape Escape. It's quick. The jump buttons on the shoulders, and it flies. And this one, if I wanted to catch a monkey in front of me, I do the analog stick like I used to do, but then that doesn't just swing my weapon. It triggers an animation in that direction. And so the whole game, you're constantly on like a half-second delay. You lose all the tightness and of the first one. It really is horrendous. Talk about the voice actors. Well, that's the one thing I have trouble with is because I'm used to the American voice actors, and the one we played was the European version, even though the American voice actors from the first game did not make it into the second game. So it's hard, but I will say, like, I didn't like I like a lot of European stuff. I'll play a lot of European. It was not good for the most part. I will say Natsumi, Natalie, uh, her voice actor wasn't bad. And the professor was a solid voice actor, I think, but it was so far removed from how I know the professor from the first American one that I couldn't enjoy it. Um, Hikaru, whatever, I don't even know his American name. Hikaru, he sucks. He sucks. I can't remember any of the other voices, but I'm sure they were annoying and grating. I know the boss monkeys talked, but I don't give a shit. Spectre was awful, even though I'm pretty sure that voice actor has been in tons of anime I watch from Europe, and yet it was awful. It was heinous. Anyway, I really am going long fucking winded on this, but let's just summarize it with this. Oh, that's a good reference, Kobe. That is a good reference. That's a deep cut. Hikaru, the chess player, he said. Pretty good, pretty good. No, it is E tier. It's not F tier because it's one of those problems where I can only compare it to Ape Escape, and I have great love for Ape Escape. I could see someone who never played the first one, who that was their first game, they'd go, "This is the balls. This is fantastic," and having no problem with it. So it's not an F. I'll go E tier. What's next? Oh, this is a fun one. Does anyone remember me playing this? Bushido Blade 2. Bushido Blade 2. I remember I was at the end of, what the fuck were we playing? We played something else for most of the stream, and then right at the end, I was like, let me just play this for a couple minutes. And we ended up going for like an hour and a half because I almost ended up beating the game. But the bosses were, no, but it would be even more odd. What if you jumped in at number two without playing number one? I don't know, man. People, because here's the thing, it's like what happened with Metal Gear Solid 2, which spoiler, but that's going to be on this list here. Uh, where apparently people like the second one more than the original. When did this happen? No memory, sadly. It's probably drifted away with your computer's memory. Yeah, probably. The Russians have that memory now. Actually, I don't know who hacked me this time. No, I was responding to Kobe. Oh, oh. Yeah, no, Bushido Blade 2, the gameplay I like a lot. I wish they would make a new one. It was for those who weren't there, it was sword fighting, like kind of like what would be a good reference? Soul Calibur, like a fighting game with swords and whatnot. Except it was realistic, the damage. Like you get sliced once in an important area, you're dead. Or you could take like one to the arm and you lose your arm, but you could still keep going, right? Like it was realistic. That was cool. The story, a little generic, but you also got to figure it's like a 30-year-old game. So it was probably less generic when it came out. It was about like, oh, there's two ancient clans of swordsmen and they want the scroll, and this family stole the scroll, so your family is going to have to get it back. Generic. The music was perfect for what it was. Very subdued, very quiet, which is, so it felt very samurai movie-ish, which I just fucking drank up. I loved it. And the art direction was what it was. Everyone was kind of borderline mid 90s wacky fantasy Japan stuff. So all the girls were showing a lot of leg and titty. All the guys had super long hair. That said, is it E tier? Nah, it was funner than E tier. Is it D tier? Nah, it's something special. Is it C tier? It might be C tier. Is it B tier? I don't think it's close. It's like half B tier. It's definitely not A or S. It's like right between B and C. I think just because we got to, I swear, pretty much the final boss, and it was going to be one of those games where the length of it was going to be in like every time I run through, I unlock a character. That character now must be run through. So I think, just like Kobe just said, it is going to be a C tier. It's going to be the first of the C tiers for 2022. We need an F tier. We need an F tier to fill the board going forward. So what's next? What's next after that? We got Digimon. We did that. We did that. Okay, here we go. Oh, we missed one. It is Digimon. Not Digimon World. The sequel, Digimon World Next Order, which was a love-hate relationship, where just had the worst luck with the run on stream. And that will affect the game. It will. We could get nothing done. I remember I blew like 3, maybe 4 streams just trying to get going. Let's just skip the OOT so we can fill the F tier. It's like the last game too. Yeah, so no, but gameplay wise, I get what they're doing. I just don't. And you know how hilarious it is to say that, oh, it lacks polish for a Digimon World game, especially when you're comparing it to Digimon World. It lacks polish. But it really did. I get what they were trying to do. They did too much. You want to do 2 guys? Okay. Then you want to like expand the field? Well, that should have been done. But then you want to expand the stat field by literally 10 times? It was just a little too much. The music, I give, even though I didn't like it, I'll give full marks. Because what they did was they took not all, but they took a lot of the music from the original and like remixed it and made it kind of newer, kind of more modern. And then they made a couple of their own originals, of course. Pretty good. I can't hate that. Art direction wise, it looked pretty good. The one thing I wish it did more, that the original game did wonderfully, maybe almost too much, was the digital world, and you can see it in anime and everything. It would be like a vending machine. This is your art wall, your art folio when you're designing Digimon stuff. Picture like a sandy ruin, like a desert type shit, right? And like a palm tree, and underneath the palm tree is a pink vending machine that's filled with like meat, and then it has like vents coming out of it into the ground. That's the kind of like that feel, like that desolate, but a lot of tech. Digimon World Next Order, it was just like, oh, hey, look, we're in the field. And there wasn't a whole lot of tech. There was the power plant, and it would have like a single hydro like line through it, and you're like, oh, solid B tier game. The story was solid enough. The pacing was kind of bad, but it's a sequel to a game that's like broken, so you can't make it too polished. So you figure, all right, is it starting S? Is it S tier? No, it's not S tier. Is it A tier? F tier because the shit was pink and not brown. That was pretty bad. They did try and clean up some aspects of the original. Is it A tier? No way. Is it B tier? No. Is it C tier? Barely. I'm gonna give it a C tier, but it almost goes to D. It's biting off. The only thing that saves it is that after fucking, like, what was it on stream, we'll say, for example, it was like 30 plus hours, 40 hours. You hit a point where finally the game lets off on the difficulty gas pedal. Finally you get ahead of the difficulty curve enough where you can start having fun with it. That's all that literally saves it. Otherwise, it is really, really broken. So it will get the C. The only thing that saves it is that it's a Digimon game. You know what? Yeah, to a degree, I guess. It's E tier. I wouldn't go that far. Because, like I said, once you get ahead of that curb, it's what the whole game should have been at that point. You know, it's all the fun of the original once you grind 40 hours out of the way. But because that fun is there, watch if we every year, like I said, if we play it again, we'll have to re-rate it. First of all, I don't have any plans to play it again, but if I get somehow tricked into it or something, it might not be in C next year. I might, who knows. There's been times I get to the end and literally the moment the stream's over, the TNT award stream is over, I'm like already regretting, like, why did I put that there? Why did I rank that there? Let me think. Am I doing that with Digimon? It's not B tier. Is it D tier? It doesn't. It feels like C tier to me. It's gonna be C tier. Here was a surprise, mainly because this stream literally I didn't see a single regular face. It was all new faces, and that is, get out my liner notes, a Dragon Quest 11 S. Is it 12? 12 S. This is fucking. Dragon Quest 11S, Echoes of an Elusive Age, Definitive Edition. What a fun name. but now everyone knows I like a lot of the old Final Fantasy games a lot, right? And I've heard Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest is one of the main three when you talk RPGs, right? So I was like, well, what the fuck? What the fuck? Let me give this bad boy a shot and see what's up. And it starts off and the story's like a little cliche, but I get it. They're trying to do like a retro thing, which I appreciate, as opposed to Final Fantasy trying to like, fucking, who knows what they're doing now. You watch, next game's gonna be, it'd be a fucking Pokemon type game. Fuck, I hate them right now. I'll probably never play a new Final Fantasy again, you know? Dragon Quest 12, long ass title, yes. Ew, Dragon Quest 11, yes. So yeah, gameplay wise though, well, story wise, we'll start with story wise. A little cliche, but I appreciate it. Cliche is not necessarily a bad thing. It's a limiting thing. You'll never impress with cliches, but you can at least average out with a good cliche. And this thing was a bunch of solid cliches. So I appreciate that. The gameplay was both good and not good. The actual walking around and exploring and stuff was solid. Solid. I was like, wow, this is really good map layouts. This is really good traversing, pathfinding. Solid. What you actually do on those maps, though, kind of boring, kind of empty feeling. Outside of the few levels where like they like really hold your hand through the kind of open ones, just feel like, okay, there's monsters for days, and I'm heading that way. What are you gonna do? Music wise, oh Jesus, green screen. Music wise, I was actually pleasantly surprised. I was jamming out to a lot of music. I'm like, yeah, this sounds vaguely familiar. Yeah, this is pretty good. And then finally, art direction wise, it was really off-putting to me to see what I consider Dragon Ball graphics on everything. That seems like it's such a specific thing for me, and to see it on other stuff, it's like, ugh, ugh. Dragon Quest usually has a decent soundtrack. Well, I know they always pump it up because of that guy. I know the producer is like apparently a douche. Apparently he's a bit of a cunt, but good at his job. That's what I know. Haven't finished the Dragon Quest. Is a long story that I had a hard time getting through. I assume I'm getting close to the end because like the bad guy already stole the thing and the Earth has turned to shit and We're already going back in time, like typical JRPG cliches, right? So overall, whoops, that game never ends. It really, I did put a lot of hours into it, and it did keep going. I hope I was near the end. Jesus Christ. Is it an S tier game? No. Is it an A tier game? No. Is it B tier? Was it C tier? I think by like a hair, by the thinnest of margins, it's gonna be a B tier. That's now I don't know. Everyone in chat's talking like it's some really heinous shit. Based on what I saw, the reason I haven't finished it is because it did lose me. I was the one of the worst things you could do with a cliche heavy plot is dialogue heavy. And I'm at the point where my party got separated and they got sent back into their own scenarios. And I'm like, okay, so I'm fighting through. I'm already frustrated by that. And then I get to the old king, his flashback, and he's literally back in time running the kingdom again. And it's all dialogue. And I'm just like, it's just mind numbing. So, you know what now? I don't know. I don't know now. I say that, and I'm thinking, one of my favorite things, this is going to taint the pool, in RPGs is to be able to grind. I like just grinding, getting my shit right, moving forward. There wasn't a whole lot of that. There was only a couple of good songs. You know what? Before we move forward, I already decided it's a fucking C tier game. Never mind. It's fucking. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it, right? And I'm thinking about, all right, B tier, man. I want to get back into that. Like seriously, that's how you should look at it. Is almost replayability. That's like the super cheat guide to all this. Well, I know Fall Guys is down there, and that's a weird one. But like replayability is the easiest way to look at this. I'm sitting here thinking about trying to like get back in the, I should finish that. I don't really want to. I had my fun with it. Fuck it. It's a C tier game. And if I think about it much longer, it might just be D tier for Dragon Quest. So before fucking we really start backtracking, let's move on to a different dragon game. A more trash and treasure dragon game with Dragon's Crown. Specifically, Dragon's Crown Pro. I want to hear, I bet you Kagone is going to have something nasty to say. Because he actually ended up, I think, buying this game based on my recommendation. And he never played with me. Fucker. I don't want to go back to it either. If I do, I'd have to start. Well, there's something to be said for that too. That's how I typically play my RPGs. I either do it at once or I don't do it at all. And yeah, I just can't. It just wasn't for me. That's fair. It's weird because it's like a side scroller beat 'em up, like a Double Dragon, except with dragons, wizards, and titties. So, which is kind of my jam. It's kind of right in my fucking wheelhouse. The music was just above average. Like there wouldn't be anything I'd go out and download or something. Am I playing is it quiet right now? I just realized I haven't played any fucking music. I really am a mess. Do you guys prefer it this way? If we just talk with no background music? Let me know if you guys want background music. I might have played it if it wasn't PS exclusive. Only thing I'll know about this game is anyone ever mentions it now is dragons, wizards, and titties. That really sums it up better than you could ever know. Yeah, so the music in the game, it was fine. The art direction is so odd because like you get what they were going for, and then took it a little more extreme, and so it's like it's off-putting, but it's so, what's the word? It's so, they did exactly what they like. It's very specific. They're not shooting for it. They had a very specific art direction in mind, and they went with it full out. Yeah, I'm okay without the background. Okay, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. So I give almost full points for art direction. In the end, there's a couple of frames of animation that really go like, ugh, ew. What else? What else? Gameplay wise, like I said, it's a side scroller beat 'em up. You can't hate that. That's fantastic. I wish they would do more games like that. The only thing I'll say as far as gameplay goes, and it kind of goes into story, which not bad. Couple of twists and turns, little cliche heavy. Hydrate, exactly. Little cliche heavy, but they had a couple twists and turns. I will say though, the problem, and it's kind of a mix of story and gameplay, is that they have like what, 8 levels, 8 or 9 levels, and it's just, this is it. If you're gonna do a game like that where I can get through a level in like 20-ish minutes, you better throw me like 20 fucking levels. So I felt the game was a little short. That is gonna hurt it. Yeah, Flair's right. Talking a lot. I figure you should hydrate before you dehydrate. Hydro Bros, even though I'm drinking no name soda and rum. Asbestos Cola, Nuka Cola. Is it S tier? No. Is it A tier? If it wasn't for just that, because it's so short, they even realized it was short. So they set up a system where you got to go back through the same level. And then there's like, oh, but there's a B path this time. Okay. And then it's like, well, you got to go through this, but now there's a different quest to that level. It's like, yeah. So no, it can't be an A level. Is it a B level? It is. It is. There's enough going for it. I say it holds a B level. Even though it is both shockingly short and shockingly long game, it'll hold a B level for me. I'm fine with that. I have no qualms. If someone saw that and go, yo, you put that in B? Yeah. Yeah, I did. What the problem is, speaking of kind of like dragons and wizards and whatnot, let's get something more mainstream. Let's do the Elden Rings. Elden Ring. Now, where did we did Demon Souls previously? Where the fuck did Demon Souls place? Scanning, scanning, scanning. What's this? Is it here? Demon Souls apparently made it C tier. So you kind of think, all right, well, should Elden Ring be C tier? I had a lot of fun with Elden Ring. I'll say this: the game was probably the most beautiful, ugly game I might have ever seen, or maybe the most ugly, beautiful game I've ever seen. Maybe that one. Everyone talks about, oh my god, it's one of the best graphics I've ever seen. The game's fucking, I guess, like, boy, they really captured what a awful hellscape it must be to live in this shitty fucking ring world. Because it's fucking heinous. A lot of it to look at is fucking atrocious. Music wise, fine, totally fine. Nothing that's memorable to me, but nothing that also stands out as bad. The gameplay, I gotta give points. They found a way to keep the game stupidly hard as tradition, but also make it more publicly acceptable by broadening the characters right off the hop. E for Elden Ring. Oh, it's a good argument. It's a good argument. I like a good letter argument. uh, so I'm going to shock the world because Elden Ring is actually gonna be B. It's gonna be a B tier game. The only thing holding it back from A tier is the fact that it's fucking it falls into the same trappings that whatchamacallit does. Demon Souls and all that. That type of game, it could be as great as it can be to that specific audience, but to me specifically, it's just such a fucking hard genre of games. I don't have the quick reactions. I don't like the grin and bear it. That's how come I don't play too many roguelikes. I don't like putting in a bunch of work just to have it reset like that. You know? F for fuck your lives. That's a good argument too. Now, Elden Ring will get a solid B. I'm fine with B. I agree with B tier for as little of it I've played. It is one of those games where it is solid. You hit a lot of walls. I hit a lot of walls. I can't put that Eve on you. I hit a lot of walls, but it's enjoyable. I have no problem with it in B tier. I don't. If I put it in A tier, it just immediately I don't. It doesn't feel right. It feels like I'm trying to placate. And C tier, it's just not. It's just fucking not. Is Bushido Blade the same level as Elden Ring? No. No, it's not. Oh, shit. If you don't like roguelikes, then I have the game for you. Go on, Kobe. Here's a breakout fucking hit. Hollow Cure. Can you believe? The next update is actually like in a week or something. I think it was the 12th. Is the next update. I still got fucking coins to make to level up my shit. I know an indie dev who made a pixel art roguelike shooter, all of your favorite things. Yeah, it really does sound like all my favorite things. I'd sooner go back to Elden Ring than the Dragon Quest. That's very fair. That's a fair point. I would also. And I stalled out. I stalled out on a boss fight on Elden Ring, which is a lot better to stall out on something like that than to stall out on endless fucking dialogue boxes. Man, a Dragon Quest might drop to D yet. It's fucking every time I think about it. No, Hollow Cure. I came out of nowhere. Indie game. The new update's coming out real fucking soon. And it's going to have 10 new characters and just a whole shitload of some really fucking cool things, actually. That it looks like they added some sort of weird new thing where instead of combining 2 items, you can combine 3. The music is fine for what it is. Hololive is S tier. Hollow Cure is S tier. Can you give a quick 15-second description of Hollow Cure? It's like those Vampire Survivor type games, except it has a bunch of characters and a bunch of other features like item combinations, stat building, the coins you earn go into, and like that, like bosses built into it. So it's not just like I'm gonna fight waves and then a Grim Reaper and then I'm done. There's more to it than that, you know. We played it quite a few times, and like I said, the update's coming out next week, the week after next week. I absolutely will be streaming it again. So let's start. Is it S tier like everyone's saying? No. Is it A tier? Yeah. Yeah, A tier. It squeezes out. It's funny. I'm actually looking at my A tier. A tier so far is all super short games. Twisted Metal, which you could do a playthrough of that in like 45 minutes, a complete playthrough. Rocket League, which is literally just 10-minute games. Hollow Cure, which each round, if you survive the whole round, is like 25 minutes. If you want a good game, just keep it short. But yeah, it's like a wave survival game, free to play. It's based around VTubers, shitload of characters. I think in the end, if my math is right, they're going to have like 60 playable characters, all with their own unique abilities. I'm going to need you to play this game. Sounds interesting. Plenty of replays up on the YouTube archive. And like I said, I will be streaming it again soon with the update coming out in like a week. Solid game. Very, very excited to see the update. I could always stream it on Discord too. This is true. A lot of people in the Discord picked it up. So that's cool to see too. That's why I always like that, is when I can push it on the others. Because Flare, wasn't gonna find it through VTubing. You know, that's not his shtick. That's not his fetish. Speaking of fetishes, Metal Gear Solid 2. It was the final game we actually played in 2022, and it was a surprise hit. In my mind, I always think of Metal Gear Solid 2 as being shit because it is, and and people were saying like it's the best one. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I played through it, and it was pretty good. It was way better than I thought it would be. I'll be fair. I'll be fair. It was way better than I thought it would be. Music was fucking perfect. Metal Gear Solid music, pretty hard to fuck it up. You know, the Konami music team knows what they're doing. Story wise, I do get why people say it's the best one. I don't necessarily know if I can agree with that, but I get it. There's enough there where I'd be like, yo, this is some deep shit. Oh, this is going to be interesting. It's just that. The gameplay wise, I felt it didn't explain a lot of shit. There was a lot of times where I'd be stuck on fairly obvious things, and just because they just didn't explain it, or there was options that I didn't know were options. You don't have to tell me there's an option, but then lead me there through gameplay, and they just weren't doing that. Is the story going to hurt the score? I wouldn't say that. But is it going to be like this amazing thing that's going to carry it? I wouldn't say that either. For reference, let's check. Where did Metal Gear Solid play? Okay, Metal Gear Solid is an S tier game. You know, going back to what we're saying, like, does anything rank with Digimon? Metal Gear Solid ranked with Digimon. I say Metal Gear Solid 2. Like you said, the gameplay left a little bit aside. Story was totally fine. I was fine with it. Wasn't amazing. I was fine with it. Music, it was Metal Gear Solid. Perfect. Art direction, pretty. There was parts of it that were really good, and there was parts of it that were really shit. Like when Campbell, the AI Campbell, starts breaking down, and you can see like there's like a kind of a skull AI kind of behind it, and he's like muttering gibberish at you, and he's like cursing you out and shit. Pretty good. And then like, oh my god, I gotta fight all these Metal Gear Rays, and you're like in a like the VR training room, you know, looks like the fucking Tron set, and it's just endless guys coming up to you, and you're just stinger. There's 50-50. I say like Metal Gear was an S tier. It's not an S tier. It's just not an S tier. Is it an A tier? No. It to me, is it a B tier even? You know what? I say there's just enough holding on to it that it holds on to B tier. A couple of quirks that I really liked. I like the fact that a lot of people died. I know it sounds fucking morbid, but I do like the fact they went that direction. That's a fun direction. The story is both good and bad. You know, it like I like the idea of it's a secret. We talked about it at length during the stream. I'd hate to rehash this. The story is as good as it is to pump it up. It's also the major detractor, especially now. This is something I don't think this made it to stream match. I think this made it right to Lad as soon as that stream ended when we beat Metal Gear Solid 2. I told him, I said, listen, wait a sec, and I started pointing out all these plot holes. Now that I've played number 2, the final one I did not play of Metal Gear Solid, I started finding all these plot holes. I'm like, wait a sec, and yeah. Ooh, just heading the seat here quick. No, it'll stay B tier. But what it does is that other Metal Gear entries later on, it's pretty much doomed them to never make it to S tier. That's pretty much what happened. But it'll just stay B tier. Like the story, the gameplay was fine. They really did polish up the gameplay from the first one, I felt, for the most part. All right, let's move on to some simpler games. Games that won't be so hard to explain. Oh, look, that was my phone, but I can't find it. Ha ha ha. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the what the fuck did we play this on? The Sega Game Gear. Music wise, it was the Game Gear. You can't. It's just fucking. It was what it was. S tier says Kobe. It was what it was. Gameplay wise, it was pretty shit, but it's a Game Gear game. What are you gonna do? Story wise, what story? Power Rangers got story. This had Power Rangers. I don't remember too much Power Rangers story in this one. And then art direction, it looked Power Rangersy. Um, that said, this is unfortunately no, 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 no. Mm, it's Morphin time. Go Power Rangers. Exactly. Love the franchise. Don't get me wrong, but um, it'll D tier. It's D tier. It's D tier. Listen, I there's that old stereotype that fighting games don't have story, right? But this one was really scraping that stereotype, or really reinforcing it, or whatever you want to call it. The music was passable at best. They kind of did something that sounded Power Rangersy. The art direction was actually, yeah, is exactly what it needed to be. The gameplay was a little shit, but it was the Game Gear. It's not exactly going to be fucking amazing. D tier is fine, but it is like barely a D tier, barely. Um, the same should be said for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, the game for the Sega Game Gear. However, you figure like a game that comes out after they okay, we have a chance to polish it. We got story from the movie. They did include the story from the movie. I appreciate that. Yet somehow the gameplay was worse. It was even more broken and shitty. So it's actually going to drop down to an E tier. Uh, uh, the only thing that saves it from being an F is that it had a story that was also canon. It wasn't just a bullshit story. It was official. So that's literally the only thing that saves it from being our first F. I was thinking actually we didn't play too many really bad games this year. We really didn't. It was a pretty good year, honestly. What's next? Ah, the Power Rangers Fight for the Grid, the newest fighting game. The reason we went back and played those old ones. All right, well, you start off at D tier, right? So you think like, okay, gameplay? No. Music, surely. No, it was the same track looped. Well, art direction? No. Rita Repulsa's face was horrendous. Well, surely the fucking no. It actually was our first F. Our first, oh man, this was an experience. It really was. I want to see a year full of F tier games. I don't think I could last. I mean, granted, I mean, shit, if you guys were rating this would be a year full of F tier games fucking all F tier games and then stupid Zelda or something is fucking S. Oh man, this was an experience. F? Yeah, our first F game is Fight for the Grid Power Rangers. The story made no fucking sense. It made no fucking sense. It ignored canon and just did its own thing and it made no fucking sense. The art direction, you thought it would be good, but it looked kind of cheap. And then, like, the character models, their faces were all fucked up. Like, Rita Repulsa looked like Lord Farquaad from Shrek. It was like, what the fuck? The music, it literally was it was like a ripoff of the Go-Go Power Rangers original intro. So it didn't sound right already. And then they only did half of that first riff and then just repeated it. And it played for every single fucking cutscene. Uh, and so, yeah. And so fucking like in every possible category, it failed. The fighting was awful because there'd be times where you'd be like, I remember when we first started playing, I was like, oh my God, is this just a demo mode? Like, am I supposed to? And then I realized this is an actual fight. They want me to win. So the difficulty was ridiculous. And then later fights, I was able to just sit there and spam kick and win fights. So it's not even balanced. The balance is out the window. The moment you see Dragon Suit Trini stomping into battle against some putties, you're like, okay, balance was not on the menu for this fighting game. And then think about it in general. The general rule of thumb is replayability. Like, am I ever gonna play Amazing Island again? Probably not. Am I ever gonna play Escape 2 again? No. Am I ever gonna play no way am I ever gonna play fucking Fight for the Grid Power Rangers. So the Game Gear is better than the Xbox One. That's what, and there's one thing you could take away from the stream, yeah. You know, and the PS1 is better than all that apparently. Shit. Have you played Shrek? Have I played Shrek 2 yet? No. Is that a game? Wait, I own a Shrek game. It might be Shrek 2. I can't see because my green screen's in the way, but I do own a Shrek game. And it might legitimately be Shrek 2. Some Shrek game. Why? Is the game worth it? Here, 2 seconds. I just gotta blow my nose. Ha! I still can't breathe out of it, but at least it's better. Jesus. So sick. Where do we leave off? Oh yes. Battle for the Grid. What do we got here? Where's the ASMR nose blowing stream I was promised? I don't remember promising that. I think I would love to do. I did a joke ASMR video, like it's literally like a minute long, right? And it got quite a few views up on the old YouTubes. I wonder if there's something I could do with that. I wonder if there's something I can take and run with that. Video game ASMR. It's just me, boyfriend playing video games while you try to get a good night's rest. It's just me kind of in the background. Hear me clicking away. You should play it sometime this year, Trash, maybe. Like I said, I own a Shrek, so I don't know. If I have it back there, I wouldn't mind doing it for a stream, maybe. Uh, ASMR fishing for 10 hours. That's what it was Digimon fishing. I could do that. I could fucking Digimon fish for 10 hours, no problem. Mortal Shell. Mortal Shell, Dark Souls kind of indie fucking game that's meant to be even darker and more cryptic than fucking. Uh, the gameplay was so fucking hard. It was like the original Demon Souls, maybe even harder. I consider it harder than even the original Demon Souls. Music wise, pretty good. The music was fucking good. Art direction wise, I would say like 25% of it was too much. Like they really got a little edgelordy on it, but there was some great fucking other art design. It's like 50-50, I'd say. 50% of it was like fucking yeah, and 50% of it was like you did too much. You know? And then story, uh, there was definitely a story. Um, fucking. So you say, all right, Demon Souls was C tier. Is it C tier? No. Is it D tier? I'm sorry. To me, it was an E tier game. There was parts of it you could tell there was stuff happening, but in general, it just seemed like they were. What's a good way to describe it? Like it was a they spent too much effort in places that didn't really need them, when there's other places that really could use the effort. And then also, it's just not my kind of game. So they were doomed. They were never going to be like immediately just being that style of game. You're pretty much capped at B. Elden Ring being in B is amazing. You're almost capped at C, really. What can you do? Hey, look at this awful shit. Speaking of Kagone in chat here, it's Rayman. Yet another of the 2022 Ion Game Challenge games. F. F, says Lad. Is it F because it's dead or F because it's fucking bad? All right, let's be fair. Let's be fair here. Art style. It was one of those ugly, ugly late 90s, early 2000s platformers. Like, I like Toomba. I like Toomba, the game, right? Um, but I gotta admit, Toomba is an ugly game. There was a lot of ugly platformers back then. What's the one? It's got an American version and a Japanese version that look different art wise, but they're the same game play wise. It's like you just run. It's like a endless runner platformer game, and it came around out that same time. Just ugly platformers back then, you know. Music wise, I'm pretty sure I hated it. There's something in the back of my head that told me, but then again, I was kind of stuck listening to the same loops over and over. So I'm not going to mark it terribly for that, just because it was just getting ground into my fucking ear. Uh, the gameplay it wasn't bad. It was fucking, early platformer. They were tough. They were tough by nature, and I'm not good at platformers, so I find it extra tough. The story though was really bad. I made it quite a few levels in, I felt, and I can't honestly tell you what happened. You're Rayman, and some guys got captured, little fairies got captured by hunters for reasons. I don't know. So let's start in C tier. Is it B tier? No, no. Is it C tier? No. What is it? D tier? No. Is it E tier? Yeah, I say it's E tier. It's not a failure of a game. F I kind of consider for just complete fucking failures, but it really was just one of the fucking everything about it fucking kind of sucked ass. You know, there was, okay, wait, I'll be fair here too. I'll be fair. Kagone was the one who chose that game. And I'm pretty sure a couple times during stream and definitely after the stream, even he said, yeah, it's kind of sucked. It's not like what I remembered. I don't want to be putting words in his mouth. I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure across the board we all agreed that really should not have the respect and reverence it does. Hey, look at that. Uh RoboCop versus the Terminator. The Terminators. Flame says I actually enjoyed the game a bit. Not enough that I'll go back to it, but some. There was parts where I thought like, okay, here I go. When I finally started unlocking some of the abilities, I'm like, all right, this is no. It was just too specific. It was, I don't even want to fucking, it sucked. It fucking sucked. Yeah, never mind. That fucking game failed. That game fucking sucked. I'm thinking, I just pictured myself like, all right, I gotta talk it up, or like, would I play it again? No, it fucking really, really was not fun. Yeah, no offense, Kiko. I know it feels like you're getting bullied, but listen, that's what the fucking Ion Game Challenge is all about. You didn't think I took a beating over Digimon World when I made everyone play that? You don't think Flair still takes a beating for Shadow the Hedgehog? We'll never let fucking Zex let down Binding of Isaac. Everyone takes one in the end. Fucking Saturday Night Slam Masters. Ugh. Don't even get me started on fucking Ratchet and Clank. Fuck Rayman. Anyway, RoboCop versus the Terminators. Let's face it, it's just a fucking failure of a game. This is an abomination of a game. I can't even play music. They didn't even try with the music. Art direction, nothing RoboCop or Terminators feeling. Story, that you are RoboCop and you do fight Terminator style robots. I don't remember why. And I don't remember why there's tons of Terminators. You know, like it fucking sucked. The gameplay was stupid. It was like super early platformer where like, to go find your goals and find the exit, where it's not just a path, but it's like up, you're down, you're around, you're collecting shit so you can go to the exit. Fuck that. Fuck that game. Whoa, look at that. Lad just subscribed for 2 months in a row. Lad, welcome. You now have access to all sorts of emotes. How fun is that? Ugh. Oh, that cleared it. Ah, poor Robert Cop and the Terminator. That's right. Fucking what's the Mater? Lactonator. Fucking from Cars. Oh, Robert Cop and Tonator. Yeah, that game sucked. What's next? What are next? I can't make that shit out. What's that fucking? Oh yeah, that'd be Rune Factory. Rune Factory 5. I kind of fucking fell in love with Rune Factory. Although I will admit, I kind of stopped playing it. It got a little samey. It got to the point where like, okay, I want to do this. I want to get like my weapons to this point. So I would like get a group together to get the friendship points, go fight the same fucking bosses because they respawn every day, and then plant my shit, nap, redo. Fucking very next day, do the same thing until I finally get the sword. All right, cool, I got the sword. Well, now I want the shield. Same fucking thing. And like, I think I ran out of story options till I progressed the story further, I guess, with more bosses. Because like shit around the city just wasn't happening anymore. So like, I haven't made it through a second playthrough. I didn't even finish the first. I think I got close to the end of the first beta, based on what you were telling me. But I didn't finish it. I think I'm like right near the end now, based on what I've seen story-wise. I can't imagine too much more being after this. So yeah, almost really good. I did find out later, apparently, I can't confirm this, I did not put research in, that this, because it's 3D, it's one of the shorter story-wise / gameplay-wise. Apparently the pixel, everyone says number 3 was arguably the best Rune Factory. And they say Rune Factory 3, I'll fucking just tell you. Rune Factory 3, how long to beat. Rune Factory 3 also holds the fun subtitle of A Fantasy Harvest Moon. It just wears it on its fucking sleeve. So you can do it about 41 hours. The completionist comes in at 99 hours. Now, what's Rune Factory 5? I don't know. This one's saying fucking 132 completionist, 85 for main and sides. But I don't know. This one just feels like a lot of the same, just over and over and over again. I enjoyed the game. I might pick it back up, but not anytime soon. I feel kind of the same way. I definitely want to play it again. There's a lot going on there that I like. Just probably not until I'm really bored. You know, like when I'm stuck on like a fucking train ride or something where I gotta entertain myself for a while. So like, is it C tier? You know, bitch, it might be. Is it D tier? No. Is it B tier? Yeah. Yeah, just by the skin of its teeth, it's B tier. There's enough going on. I'm not super into the whole farming games. This is not my shtick. But this one was solid. It had a lot of extra shit like fishing, actual like animal raising and capturing, and like the marriage system. And there was enough going on where B is fine. I enjoyed it. I paid full price for it. I bought it fucking 3 days after it released, and I had no regrets. That's a mark of a good sign. Jeez, my beard's betraying me on the old green screen, huh? What's next? Ooh, my Halloween offerings. Schoolgirl. I'd call it B, but that's just me. No, we agree then. Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter. Made by the same people who made the One Chan Bara series, which we also streamed recently, or previously, I should say, not recently. Where did One Chan Bara come in at? Skinning, scanning. Why can't I find it? What the fuck? Why can't I find that shit? Oh, here it is. Here it is. C tier. C tier. You enjoyed this game far too much. Did you guys not enjoy it though? It was fucking. There was solidness going on there. There was some fucking greatness. Story wise, there's parts of it I like. Just like with the One Chambara series. Parts of it where I'm like, that's interesting. That's pretty good. But this one actually left. I was shocked at how little they did with it. They really they really kind of dropped the ball when it comes to that. Music wise, it was solidness. He says it was fucking good. The music was perfect for what it was. Not my thing though, but it was perfect for what it was. What it had to be. I just does nothing for me. That kind of generic poppy synth shit. But for a schoolgirl zombie hunter game, it's that it needed to be that. So we did art direction. You gotta. I'll say two things. One, it had some of the better art direction. Some of them fucking zombies were truly like fucked up. You know. At the same time, there's a lot of laziness. The levels themselves were fucking shockingly boring. Like the secret level, like the base underneath the science lab was just like weird conduit. You know, like it kind of sucked there. Um, there's four categories. What are we missing? Story, music. Oh, gameplay. It's a shooter. It's just a fucking arcade shooter. But even then, it had some problems as a shooter where it'd be really clunky. I've never, I can't say never, but I don't really remember off the top of my head playing a game where the guns felt so fucking eh. It felt like nothing. I'm hitting a guy with a shotgun, and it's just like I'm pumping him with like 6, 7 shots for him to go down, and he's not even a boss. It's like this doesn't. Eh, eh. So let's face it. It's like one Chambara was a C, so you started C, right? Is it C? No, it's worse than a C. All right. Well, is it D? Is it D? They are zombies. Yeah, but like maybe I've been spoiled with games where like, if I shoot a zombie in a leg, it tends to slow it down, or at least, it might flinch or something. This thing, it didn't even like react. Like I'm seeing blood splatter particles and it's just like trucking at me slowly. I'm like, oh fuck. But everything everyone can love, like schoolgirls. It did have schoolgirls, plenty of naked asses and titty flesh, and they were in their underwear a lot as part of the story. They were in their underwear a lot, even not just extra bonus shit. Uh, I'm let's put it this way: with like one Chanbara, it had a story. You understood the story. It had characters. The music was a little catchier than that. The gameplay was fucking solid, right? I don't think this is a D tier. I think this is a fucking E tier. I paid, I got it on super fucking clearance sale. And I was still like, that was a little too much money I paid for that. So I think that's a solid E tier game. That's one of those games where like I said, if you saw it on sale at a garage sale for like, some dude's offloading it for $10 or something, sure, sure. But good for a single playthrough, and there's nothing to go back to. So once it even fills that requirements, E tier, which sucks because I tend to like those games that kind of throw logic and good taste even out the window. But this one really was fucking heinous. Ah, we're there. Like Kobe said, we're finally at his game. It's The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Previously, when we did Zelda, it was, oh my God, I think that was A Link to the Past we did. And that was apparently a C tier. So we play Ocarina of Time. Motherfucking 2022 Ion Game Challenge. Zexios' pick. And yet another one. He'll probably be more bullied for this one than Binding of Isaac. We only bullied him about Binding of Isaac just because the game itself. Like, oh, this is a fucking wacky, shitty game. This challenge really did suck. But we're not here judging the challenge. We're just here fucking judging the game. Music. There was a couple of tunes that stuck out to me where I definitely heard that shit, but that was only through memes. Was the music itself good? It wasn't bad. It was just meh. It was fine. C tier for a non-randomized Ocarina. F says Kobe. Z tier says fucking lad. Z tier for Zelda. The story, I almost feel bad judging the story because we did the randomizer and it was all fucked up. I don't know if that has how much that's how the actual game's supposed to play out, but it was all fucked up. Um, Gameplay was kind of shit. It was kind of clunky, I felt. I know everyone will fucking probably disagree. Oh, Zelda's the best fucking. You got no story, FYI. No? Ganon doesn't actually kidnap the fucking princess. No. The Legend of Zelda, and it's about fucking. There is no Zelda. Fucking game sucked. E tier. There was a couple. Let's be fair, boys. Let's be fair. There was a couple of interesting fucking side gameplay type things. like the chicken chasing and all the little secrets. And there was some interesting challenges. All the mini games were actually pretty fucking solid. You think about the lighting the fire and all that. I bet we saw none in the randomizer. Ooh. I was able to parcel it together. I'm not tone deaf playing the game. So yeah, I don't know why the fuck I put Link to the Past as a C. So is it B, A, or S? No. Is it C? It's hard because we did the randomizer, so it's hard to judge. It's hard to judge and know I'm being fair. I feel it's a D, and for a reason that I need to explain. So first of all, the obvious one, replayability. I would replay A Link to the Past if goaded into it. Would I replay Ocarina of Time? No, I'm pretty much tapped on that. But I did also play the game before without the randomizer just to learn the controls. I figured the best way to learn the controls is to play through the game regular style, learn, like, go through all the tutorials and shit, and then download the randomizer. So I did it regularly, and it was just so fucking clunky. It wasn't jiving, and I'm a guy who likes not a. There's two different types of platformers. I think we should. I don't even want to say platformer, but like you got games like Mario or Toomba, which are pretty linear platformers. They got obstacles and puzzles and shit that you got to get around. Fine. Then you got games like Spyro or Ape Escape, where it's a 3D plane, but you're still doing some sort of flying, jumping, puzzle solving. So they're both platformers, but they feel very different, right? This game should. I hate platformers like Mario and Toomba and shit, but I like platformers like Spyro and Ape Escape and shit, right? So I should love Zelda Ocarina of Time because it's that kind of. It didn't. It was so fucking clunky. The timings were really terrible. Maybe that was an emulator issue. I don't know. Uh, it was really not fun to play. It's N64, so just like Mario N64. Yeah. Do you hate Odyssey? What Odyssey? Abe's Odyssey? What are you talking about? You are probably actually talking Abe's Odyssey. If so, I'll wait. Or is it like Mario Odyssey? I don't. Is there a Mario game I do like? Well, actually, yeah, Mario Kart 64 was pretty good. Um, Mario Golf for the Game Boy Advance was pretty all right. But in general, I don't know. Mario games just in general. You saw my intro, right? I'm just not a Super Mario. Literally, I guess not a Super Mario guy, but no, I'm just not a Mario guy. A lot of their games, and granted, they've done a lot of different types of games, so it's unfair of me to assume I'm gonna hate like Dr. Mario. But yeah, any of their platformy type shit, it's not gonna jam with me. So I give Zelda a D tier. Mario Taxi Simulator, that sounds pretty dope. I like numbers. Hey, look, it's Trackmania. This is Kobe's big game. No, it's supposed to be. We C tier is like a good starting point. Is it C tier? Nah, I feel it's better than C tier. Is it B tier though? B tier seems too high. So you think about music. The music is it's not outstanding, but it is pitch perfect for what the game needs to be. It is once again that future slow synthy racing. Like it's perfect for what the game needs to be. Art direction. Sometimes it's like wow. For the most part, it's actually a pretty fucking horrendous, ugly game. Shockingly ugly game. There's no story. The gameplay though is really, really tight. Hence it being one of like the top speedrun games in the world. It's just so keyed in, that gameplay. Is it B tier? It might be. Is it A tier? No. No. The reason I say it's not A tier is it's kind of a miasma reason. First of all, the fact that they hid so much content behind a paywall, and you're like, well, games are fucking. Listen, Rocket League has a lot of content, and its gameplay is it's pretty much all the same compliments I just gave Trackmania. Music's perfect for what it is, even though it's unmemorable. Gameplay super keyed in. Story doesn't exist. It's everything like I just said with Trackmania, but Rocket League is fucking free. Trackmania, you got to pay a fucking subscription. You know, and a lot of their content's locked away. If Rocket League is A, then Trackmania can't be B. Rocket League is A. Trackmania, because Rocket League is A. We just use Rocket League as proof of why Trackmania is B. If it wasn't for that, there's like things about Trackmania that you can ignore. You can ignore the fact that the levels are ugly because it's more gameplay focused. Fine, fine. But the fact that everything's cordoned off like that, fuck no. Can't customize your rides. You can't fucking enter events of the days. Rocket League has other ways to monetize and literally is from a bigger game company. Rocket League is a fucking indie game that got bought out. Trackmania is from fucking Ubisoft. Like the third biggest game producer in the world. What are you talking about? Who owns fucking, I assume you're saying Rocket League got bought out then? Who owns Rocket League now? Psyonix? Who the fuck, what does Psyonix have? Let's see what Psyonix has. Founded in 2000. 2019, Psyonix was acquired by Epic Games. Psyonix made 7 games. And then Rocket League was big enough that Epic Games jumped in and said, we'll have some of that. Meanwhile, fucking Ubisoft is fucking Ubisoft. Let's see what Ubisoft is doing. I can't even find their Wikipedia article because it's all their actual websites. Oh, wow, okay. So Ubisoft subsidiaries: 1492 Studio, Blue Mammoth Games, Green Panda Games, Hybrid Technologies, i3D.net, Catch App, Colibri Games, Massive Entertainment, AliNet, Quasi, Red Storm Entertainment, Ubisoft Abu Dhabi, Ubisoft Annecy, Ubisoft Barcelona, Ubisoft Barcelona Mobile, Ubisoft Belgrade, Ubisoft Berlin, Ubisoft Bordeaux, Ubisoft Bucharest, Ubisoft Chengdu, Ubisoft Dusseldorf, Ubisoft Da Nang, Ubisoft Future Games of London, Ubisoft Halifax, Ubisoft Ivory Tower, Ubisoft Kiev, Ubisoft Leamington, Ubisoft Mainz, Ubisoft Milan, Ubisoft Montpellier, Ubisoft Montreal, Ubisoft Mumbai, Ubisoft Nadeo, Ubisoft Odessa, Ubisoft Osaka, Ubisoft Paris, Ubisoft Paris Mobile, Ubisoft Film and Television, Ubisoft Philippines, Ubisoft Pune, Ubisoft Quebec, Ubisoft Red Links, Ubisoft Reflections, Ubisoft Saguenay, Ubisoft San Francisco, Ubisoft Shanghai, Ubisoft Sherbrooke, Ubisoft Singapore, Ubisoft Sofia, Ubisoft Stockholm, Ubisoft Toronto, Ubisoft Winnipeg. Former branches: Game Studios, Mycoids Canada, Related Design, Sinister Games, South Logic Studios, Sunflower Interactive, THQ Montreal, Tiwok, Ubi Studios, Ubisoft Casablanca, Ubisoft Sao Paulo, Ubisoft Vancouver, Ubisoft Zurich, Wolfpack Studios. Let's take a look at their games. Ooh, 1986 to 1989 catalog, the 2000-2009 catalog, the 2010 to 2019 catalog, or the 2020 to present. Let's do 2020 to present. Because, I mean, shit, fucking Psyonix is around for almost 20 years and they released 6 games. Since 2020, so 3 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 49 games released. And I would say probably like 13 announced. It was weird how that happened. I took a breath in and my throat said, nope, it just closed. So, yeah, I know Epic Games. It sounds like it's this big fucking, oh my goodness gracious, Epic Games. It's really kind of fucking nothing compared to someone like Ubisoft. Because look, compare. Oh, well, hey, fair is fair. Who are Epic Games subsidiaries? Well, Three Lateral, Agog Labs, ArtStation, Bandcamp, Capturing Reality, Chair Entertainment, CloudGen, Cubic Motion, Epic Games Berlin, Epic Games China, Epic Games Cologne, Epic Games Japan, Epic Games Korea, Epic Games Montreal, Epic Games Zealand, Australia, Epic Games Publishing, Epic Games Seattle, Epic Games Stockholm, Epic Games UK, Harmonix, Hypersense, Camu, Life on Air, Psyonix, Quixel, Rad Game Tools, Sketchfab, Super Awesome, Tonic Games Group. That is the end of the list. What about former studios? Impossible Studios and People Can Fly, which is AKA Epic Games Poland. That's it. So don't even. Don't even. Kobe says they were actually going to get rid of Trackmania before they put in the subscription model, actually, though. But outside of things that would affect the ranking, Ubisoft are going to put a lot more egregious things in terms of monetization. It's not going to just have they didn't. Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, don't write off Ubisoft. And don't, Epic Games is, everyone thinks them as some big because they did all these, like, big power moves recently. They're still small fish in the world of evil game companies. Anyway, where were we? Ah, yes. Speaking of cars doing shit, Turbo Golf. Let's start off. Let's put it next to Rocket League, because essentially it was Rocket League for golf. Cars hit balls just like Rocket League, ball physics just like Rocket League, but it was golf, and it's more of a race thing. You start off like you and 5 others at once, first to the hole, right? Fun idea. I loved it. I got so sucked in on it, right? Um, Music. None of those games are they're you don't they don't have good music in fucking car games. Trackmania, there's like fine music. Rocket League, yeah, it's fucking fine. Turbo Golf Racing, that's fucking story, no story. Gameplay, the gameplay. It was still work when I played it. It was still a game preview, still beta, and I was fucking in love with it. There was definitely some problems they could have used. It needed some tweaking, but it was fucking pretty good what I was playing. Art direction, some of it I really liked. I liked the courses looked fucking. Also, to be fair, if you want to go down that route, I was specifically talking about funding. Epic Games does have a net worth of 32 billion. Ubisoft is worth 3 billion. Yes, but Epic Games owns shit like Bandcamp and then has the Epic Games Store. The Epic Games Store alone. Like, I would want to see, if you're talking their net worth, Tell me their game studio's net worth, not their company. Because we saw with the Epic Games, especially, they had a bunch of shit that had nothing to do with video games, like nothing like video game development specifically. Like Quixel, they do photogrammetry, you know? Super awesome. They make child safety devices. This is Epic Games. These are their subsidiaries. Bandcamp, well, that's just music distribution, right? ArtStation, that's where artists like post their works to try and like resume build. So they can be worth a lot of money, but it's not really comparing. How do you find that? They're Wikipedia. Just Wikipedia Epic Games. You know? And then if you scroll down about halfway, eventually it turns into subsidiaries and divisions, and you can find when they were bought, when they were sold, when the companies themselves started, the location, what they do, etc., 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 etc. Etc., etc., etc. For fuck's sakes. Let's piss. Yeah, so is it as good as Rocket League? Well, no, and I'll say why. The art direction was a betrayal. The courses, some of them were great. The vehicles were fucking ugly. They were hideous. They looked like some shit out of actual cars. Like how much money Epic Games has made from games alone. You would have to go and create a list of their gaming companies, their subsidiaries, and then actually find their net worth and add just those together. That's how you'd have to do that. Yeah, the cars themselves, the vehicles, which are your main things, were terribly ugly. The customization was fucking awful in it. Granted, it was an early game. Sure, you got to be fair. But, you know, that doesn't really affect art direction. Art direction is usually something you lock in kind of early in a game, for the most part. And I also don't like the fact that they just fucking, one day they just up and decided, okay, we're good here. And I'm like, what? We're done. We're taking the game back and working on it, and I haven't seen it since. You couldn't have left a playable something up, you fucking assholes. So it's not A tier. Is it B tier? But also, just because they both have cars, that doesn't mean that you should necessarily compare them like that. It really was Rocket League Golf. Or are you talking about Trackmania still? Get over yourself. This is your Super Mario 64. Just fucking get some help. Stop it. Get some help. Uh, yeah, is it a B tier game? No, I say it's just C tier. Now, they can work on it. They could if it comes out and it fucking they fix up, they make the shit look a little prettier, the actual vehicles, they make the customization make more sense, they work on some of the balancing issues, like some of the ball shots were fucking, the physics didn't make no sense. If they fix it and really tighten it up, this could be a fucking A tier game easy. This is my I don't think it'd be S tier, but it could be A tier game easy. As it is though, beta C tier. Oh my gosh, we're almost down at the end here. So, remember Power Rangers? Well, we did VR Troopers. So immediately you go right around here. It's just fucking. It was essentially the same fucking games as the two Power Rangers, made by the same company for the same console and everything. Except like the art direction was somehow worse. And I know you're thinking, oh, VR Troopers was worse. Shut up. You know, leave the fucking cyber beetle Borgs alone. I forget what VR Troopers. So everyone knows Power Rangers was Super Sentai in Japan. VR Troopers were two different shows combined. It was this, cyber something battle beetle Borgs or something like that, and I forget the other show. But it had Professor Hart's S tier. Well, you know, Professor Hart, and it did have a talking dog. That's pretty good. No, actually, I don't even know if Professor Hart had to have been in the game, but I know the dog wasn't. VR Troopers, no, it was really bad. I won't go E tier because one thing saves it, and it's the fact that it's probably the only VR Troopers video game that ever got made. I hope VR Troopers video game. I fucking hope. Ooh, there's a Genesis version or a Game Gear version, but there is no other version. Okay, all right, all right. The dog was the intro for the bonus level. There's a bonus level? Boy, I don't remember much about that fucking game. Did we see the bonus level? As it stands, I like I said, just because it's the only VR Trooper game ever made, that's what saves it from being a complete failure. But it really is a shit fuck game. And will I ever play it again? No, unless I was showing someone VR Troopers. So that's what saves it. Hey, it's the final fucking game of the rank, and it's the one that, once again, I don't think anyone was there for. It was Yakuza Kiwami, the Yakuza remake. Have you ever played PMD EOS before? Pokemon Dungeon Eternity of Shit. No, I don't know what. Give me a full name. Yakuza Kiwami. I fucking kind of loved it. Pokemon. Oh wow, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorer. That's fucking hilarious. That's hilarious. I was just fucking around and it ended up being a thing. No, I've never played any. The only side Pokemon games I played was Pokemon Stadium and Hey You Pikachu. Those are the only two side Pokemon games I ever played. Non-main series Pokemon games. Hey You Pikachu. I remember. It's kind of shit. He didn't listen to me, and I said, "Fuck you. This game sucks. Let's play something fun." Puzzle League for a minute. Pokemon Puzzle League. Is that a thing too? Uh, I'd recommend it if you like games with a good story. I do like a good story. I'll check it out. I don't hate Pokemon. It sounds like I do. I just don't like the reverence it has that people hold for it. But I don't hate Pokemon, so I'll check it out. Um, yeah. So yeah, Yakuza Kiwami story fucking really good. Not perfect, but really good. Gameplay, I like what it does. I like what it does. Problem is the Goro fights. I get fucking sick of. There's too much shit. We streamed that game for an hour and a half, right? And I think we ended up fighting fucking Goro, which is like a mini boss fight essentially. It's like 7 times. It was really fucking I don't know. I don't know. Music, it was what it needed to be. It was perfectly what it needed to be. And art direction, once again, it was perfect what it needed to be. Um, so you start at C tier. It's better than C tier. Is it B tier? I'm gonna say it is better than B tier. Is it A tier? Is it S tier? Yeah, I say it's fucking S tier. It is one of those games I would have no problem playing it again. There's so much fucking content in that game. Yeah, it's annoying having to fight Goro all the time. It is. And even just the random little battles you can get into all the time are fucking annoying. But if you ignore that, the amount of content and amount of writing and so much good shit they put into that. I mean, fuck, we spent almost half the fucking stream for just doing the sexy beetle bug battles, which is a whole cluster of words you figured shouldn't belong together. But it was a great time. We all missed out on the good game. The bug fighting game was cool. Yeah, yeah. Of fucking course, the one that nobody was there for got S tier. I can't control what you guys are and are not there for. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure it was one of the games I played after a hiatus I took in the summer. Yakuza is one of Sega best-selling series. I'm not surprised. No, it's true. I haven't played the second yet. Well, no, I watched the whole intro to the second one. It was like fucking almost 2 hours of intro before any actual gameplay, and I was hooked. I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. But I never actually played any of it yet. So who knows? But I am gonna play the whole fucking series. I own 1 through 5 now. After the first one was so good, I bought fucking the other 4 out. I was like, fuck yeah, this rules, man. I need this in my life. But Yakuza 1, just as a standalone, so good. I'd play that again, no problem. Tons of fucking I didn't even do everything. I was like, this is just too much. I just want to get the story done. Really good. I'd highly recommend it. You know? So there you go. That was that year. Teared up. My arm disappearing. I need to fucking work on this green screen thing. There's something clearly I'm not doing right. So let's move to the my namesake round, if you will. The one that kind of goes by super quick. After that, super quick. Everyone's like, oh my God, 2 hours, you know. This would be like 20 minutes. It is the trash or treasure mode. Now rate your stream quality. Yeah, exactly. It is trash und treasure. Speed round. Yeah, essentially this is always like the cleanup round. This is always what like finalizes everything we've just done. Fall Guys, is it trash? I still consider it trash. It's fun trash. But it is a big pile of fucking dog shit. Is Crossout treasure? No, no. Crossout will not be treasure. Crossout now falls into the forbidden both category. It's got parts of it that are trash, parts of it that are treasure. Fantastic. Digimon. Digimon is a fucking treasure. Absolutely. I don't deny that. Rocket League. I don't know if Rocket League's a treasure anymore. I'll give it to it for now. But there's something about the mystique's wearing off where I'm just kind of, it kind of feels like a whatever. But for now, I'll leave Rocket League there. No one disagrees so far? Good. Fuckers. What's this? Amazing Island. You know what? I'm gonna say it. Amazing Island's a treasure. That was a hidden gem of a fucking game. I actually, like I said, I really enjoyed my time with Amazing Island. I thought it was pretty fucking solid. The whole list is incorrect. Everything's out of order. Now, Amazing Island, it was just such a unique, fun game. I think everyone should at least try it once. It's pretty neat shit. Ape Escape 2 was such fucking hot trash. Good, that is the point of my choices. Well, that should be... I know everyone made fun of fucking Binding of Isaac, right? I was stoked, just to play a game, especially a game that someone else liked. Even Shadow the Hedgehog. Yeah, I had no fun with it, but I appreciated playing it. You know what game I didn't appreciate playing was Ratchet and Clank, because the fucking guy didn't even give a shit about the game. That's why Rayman feels like a slap in the face, especially when Kagona after's like, the game sucked. Yeah. No, but yeah, Ape Escape 2 was fucking trash. The first game was such a treasure, and to just portray the first game like that, you gotta be trash. You can't be anything but. Bushido Blade 2, I want to say it's really neither, but I'm actually going to say it is a treasure just for the unique sword fighting, one hit, one kill of it all. Everything else about it is kind of blah, but that hook is so unique, and I can't recall anyone really ever doing it like that again. So it holds up because of that. Next game. Digimon World Next Order. It is both. It's a treasure where they realized, holy shit, we've released 4 Digimon World games and everyone shits on 2, 3, and 4. All everyone talks about is how great number 1 is. So 20 years later, let's release an actual proper sequel to number 1. And they still somehow made it like a buggy mess, which is kind of like appropriate because the first game was a buggy mess. So it gets to be both. How the fuck is Twisted Metal 2 not on the trash both or treasure board? Wait a sec. I guess we'll get there. I fucked up. Clearly I fucked up some point. Anyway, Dragon Quest. It's not trash. Is it a treasure? No, it's just neither. It's fine. It's fine. Dragon's Crown Pro, there's parts of it that are pretty trashy, but I'm just enough. It's quirky. You know why? Yeah, one of the characters is a sorceress whose titties are really, really active, but they know that and they own it. You gotta appreciate that. Elden Ring. It feels weird. It feels kind of hack to say it's a treasure, but there is something special about the game. Not to me per se, but you saw what it did in the public eye and shit, and just its performance and it gets a treasure, but it really is a barely, it's right on the fucking line. What really is treasure, Hollow Cure, I'm not gonna call it a treasure yet. It's nothing trashy about it. I'm not gonna call it a treasure yet. Maybe once it starts getting to around their 50 fucking plus characters and all that, okay, there's a lot. It's because it was a good game that was released in 2022. Well, that alone is pretty special, isn't it? But yeah, Hollow Cure's neither for now. We'll see what the future holds. Metal Gear Solid 2, it's just what it is. I don't really consider it a treasure. There was nothing trash about it, even though I didn't care for it. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, it was what it was. For the time, it was appropriately shit, because what was good back then? Especially for the Game Gear. What's a good Game Gear game? Doesn't exist. I will say Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, is trash because they had time to fix the problems with the first game. And all they did was money grab to tie in with the movie and release a somehow worse game. So fuck them. Fucking trash ass game. Power Rangers Battle. I like the fact that they're doing Power Ranger games in current year. I just saw a trailer that apparently dropped 2 weeks ago. They're doing a 30th anniversary Power Rangers movie, and they got the original Blue Ranger Billy, the original Black Ranger Zach, the original Red Ranger, whatever the fuck his name was, Thomas or something, whatever the fuck his shitty name was, and then the second generation Pink Ranger, the blonde one, not Kimberly, the blonde one. No Yellow Ranger, and they're back. They're back together. I was like, oh my good golly. So you think no, if you're gonna do it, do it right. But at the same time, a Power Rangers fighting game, current year, they tried. They really did try. I hated it, but they fucking tried something different, and I'll never hate on different. Mortal Shell was it was fucking whatever. It was fine. It wasn't trash. It wasn't a treasure. Rayman, I don't like the fact that people love Rayman the way they do. I think it's just trash. Any game, any not even game, any series, any movie that gets its dick sucked more than I think it should, immediately I hate it. I think that's the hipster in me. Everyone talks about how good Rayman is. It's like, did you play it? I played it, and it was awful. What did you play? I want to play what you played, fuck. RoboCop versus Terminator is trash. It's trash. But it's so trash, it actually somehow becomes a, there's been a couple games like that that are so bad they actually become special because they're so bad. I think Bubsy 3D is a good example of that, where it's such a piece of shit. It's kind of funny as a piece of shit. This one is just such a cynical cash grab. RoboCop versus the Terminator. Just such a hunk of, and it's for the Game Gear, and it sucks. Rune Factory 5 was neither. It was fine. I liked it. It's not trash or treasure. Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter was not. It wasn't even. One Chambara was like the perfect example of both, where, that's really tasteless, but it's a fun game, or it's really poor fucking, but pretty funny. This was just trash. It lacked all the charm that one Chambara had. So it was Schoolgirl Zombie Hunters, just fucking trash. Legend of fucking Zelda Ocarina of Time, specifically the randomizer. Not a treasure, not to me. Is it trash? No. Is it neither? No, I say it's both. I get it has its special place, but it's also kind of fucking shit. Lad trash. Nah, it's fine as both. It's a both. Both makes sense. Randomizer trash. Non-randomizer both as flames. Perhaps. What I played of it, what I know of it, what I experienced of it, because randomizer can't affect music. It can't affect gameplay as far as like moment to moment. Shit like that. It can't affect gameplay as far as unlocks, or it definitely affects story. I can't judge story at all. But what I can judge and what I do know, both is fine. It's a fine rank for it. Trackmania, there's something kind of fucking special about it, but it's not enough. It's not enough special. There's something unique to it. It's something like the fact it's like the number one most speedrun game, like how tight it is, the cult following. There's something special there, but it's just not enough to call it a treasure. When you compare it to some of the other stuff, okay, Rocket League is a treasure. Wait a sec now. Hold up. Let me think about this. Is Rocket League a treasure? Yeah, I still say Rocket League's a treasure. Unfortunately, I say Trackmania is not a treasure. Uh, Technically not the most speedrun game. What beats it? What beats it, Kobe? Speedrun.com. Games. All platforms. Sort by most runs. Subway Surfers has 89,000 runs. That's kind of. Kobe says, well, on speedrun.com, there isn't a ton of runs, if I recall. No, because the leaderboards are like built into the game. Like, you don't actually have to time yourself because the game, like, if you look at so like I said, Subway Surfers is the number one run game on speedrun.com with 89,000. That's 50,000 more than the next game, which is Super Mario 64, right? Trackmania Exchange record search. I have 4 different categories of maps. I'm just going to click Nadeo. They're the main ones, right? Nadeo has 515 map results across 26 pages. And let me just click one. See how many runs are in it. Okay, cool. So it's that number there. So I'm looking here. I would say 60, let's say like 45 runs on average. 45 times 515. That's already, I'm on one category of 4. This is just Nadeo maps, not even user created maps, which we know is a big thing. And we're already at 23,000 runs. Right? What about fucking, let's go to featured maps. You know? Like, let's put, especially, yeah, but then is it really speedrunning? There are games like that only have larger speedruns. Yeah, I would say it's speedrunning. The reason I say it's speedrunning is because I watch a lot of speed running channels. Like one of the best ones, in my opinion, is Carl Jobst. I used to love actually. I'm not even gonna say it. Anyway, no, Carl Jobst, right? Great, and even he says, yeah, it's the biggest speedrunning community. The speedruns are built into the game. I mean, when you watch Summoning Salt when he's doing his history of speedruns, he has to include the history before speedrun.com, right? He has to include Twin Galaxies. He has to include special boards. Look at the Punch Out board. The Punch Out board is still got its own board. You know, they just cross post now to speedrun.com. You know? I'd classify Trackmania speedruns to be beating the whole of the main campaign as fast as possible. No one does. No one considers that. Who knows, Cobes? Who knows? But yeah, no, Turbo Golf, it's neither. It's fucking is what it is. It's not trash. There's nothing treasure about it. Literally a ton of people do. Mm, but why would you classify speedruns to beating the whole of the main campaign? So what? If I play Mario, Super Mario 64, and I only do 1 star and beat the game, that's it. You know? You don't consider level runs? Like when you're talking about speedrun.com, go into those categories and click where it says leaderboards, click it. I'm doing it right now. Right? And you see how they look, it's level leaderboards, Bob on Battlefield, Womp's Fortress, Jelly Roger Bay. You don't include those because that's part of the 39,000 Super Mario speedruns is the level runs. Kobe. Kobe. Whoa, look at the hammer one. That's cool. I like that. Twisted Metal 2. How the fuck did we fuck this one up? Where did Twisted Metal 2 belong? It had to have been treasure. It had to have been treasure. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, uh, no, I don't care about aisles. Aisles are trash. No, I'm trash. It was previously listed as treasure. I still list it as a treasure. I don't know why I fucking missed that one. Treasure. Yeah, exactly. It's treasure. VR Troopers. Now listen, I listen to it as a fucking, oh my God, it's so, what saves it from being a failure is that it's the only VR Troopers game. That's not enough to call it a treasure. I'll list it as both, but that's like really stretching the definition of a trash and treasure. And Yakuza Kiwami. I don't actually consider it like a treasure per se. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the first one. First one's pretty good, but I can't imagine I'll be seeing other fucking Yakuza's in the treasure category. I don't know, man. I don't know if I feel Yakuza the treasure game. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. How do I feel about that? Yeah, you know what? There's enough going on there. I think it's a treasure. It's a treasure. It's got so much side content. It spawned such a fucking big franchise for a dying company. I don't want to. Oh, fucking Sega will create a great IP and then ruin it. Yakuza's the only one I think it hasn't completely fucked. Well, I don't know. I saw Like a Dragon and it didn't look like anything I recognized. Make of that what you fucking will. So yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so that's what's up. That's it. That's the end of 2022. You're wrong. Because everyone forgets about the bonus category. The worst stream of the year. Every year I there's always like there's multiple bad streams. Let's not kid ourselves. But there's always it seems to be one, maybe two, but for sure one that really just fucking it takes years off my life. It really shaves my life expectancy down. This one wasn't so bad. It came down to a tough decision though. It came down, I'll say it right now, it came down to Rocket League versus Rayman. Two of the worst streams this year. The Rayman stream was so fucking boring, so frustrating, so aggravating. And the Rocket League one, specifically the one where we had a couple extra people, the non-Ion people in, and they were a little much when we were playing with fucking pro Rocket League streamers, and they're fucking trying to like dribble on us and all sorts of and the jokes were fucking but you know what? In the end, you know what? I don't know now. I was gonna. I'll show you how the sausage is made, so to speak. Right? Uh. Oh, I fucked up. Did I fuck up? Oh. Oh my God. I had the image ready to go, and it's gone. Where the fuck did I put it? Yeah, that was fucking rough. Well, this is it. I saw. I actually said it was gonna be. Why is it that? I actually originally had plans. I was gonna say it was Rayman. Even well, this is it. This is it. I was gonna say it was Rayman, but you know what? Just thinking back to that Rocket League, because I was gonna say, well, at least playing with friends, and we had. No, I remember actually everyone was pretty fucking disheartened by the end of that. So you know what? I'm gonna say it. Fucking Rocket League. Even though it's one of my favorite games I've streamed, A tier across the way, treasure this, all that. It was also, see, it doesn't have to be a bad game to be a bad stream. It is also the 2022 worst stream of the year. I swear to God, before this stream started, I had Rayman picked, and then it was deleted when we turned to it. I had a black box over it, but when I moved the black box, the picture was gone. I don't know what the fuck happened. But Rocket League, yeah, thinking about it back, Rocket League was such a fucking Stream. Yeah, eventually that stream got good. That was a long stream. It was like fucking almost 6 hours that stream. Eventually it got good, but the parts where it wasn't was yeah, it wasn't very fun. No, no, no. So yeah, 20 Rocket League is the 2022 worst stream of the year. Absolutely. And that actually does bring us to the end. It brings us to the end of the stream. I remember I had to make my own fun. It was heinous. This is the thing. I'm actually remembering more and more of it now. I pretty clearly I repressed it. It really was fucking miserable, that fucking shit. So to heck with that. Rocket League worst game of the year. Uh, Trash and treasure behind us. We did pretty good. It's just pretty balanced to trash and treasure chart. Tier chart, okay, we definitely leaned a little heavier on the good side, but you know what? I kind of like that. I don't want to be necessarily playing dog shit. I'm fine playing bad games if they're like, good bad games. I don't want to be playing fucking just bad games. Or even fucking, what, bad good games. Anyway, I thank y'all for watching. That's it for this stream. Next week, we stream regular. I think it's going to be. I don't want to mispronounce it. Where's the name? Naraka Blade Point will be the stream next weekend. Naraka Blade Point, fucking battle royal, but it's all martial arts. Like it's all hand-to-hand martial arts. That's fun. That's fun for a stream, I think. And we'll see what happens from there. It'll take me a bit to get back into the thing, the heat of things. I gotta like learn my green screen, and I gotta figure out what I want to do this year as far as streaming goes. But yeah, no, like I said, thank you for watching. Thank you for helping me put an end to 2022, and thank you for helping me ring in 2023. I hope to catch you next weekend. And until then, y'all have a good one. You take care now. And bye-bye. I'll see you around. Y'all want to see the intro again? I'll play the intro one more time. Kagone just subscribed for 2 months in a row. Thank you, Kagone. I appreciate that. All right, we're gonna play the 20. We're gonna play the fucking 2022 TNT Awards intro one more time for those who missed it, and then we're gonna bail. So, like I said, y'all have a good one, and I will see you next time.
Freeze, asshole! Okay, pal. You stand right there.
Now, I don't want to have to hurt you. All I'm going to do is slip these cuffs on.
And no funny stuff.
I know how to use this.
What the hell's all that noise out
Motherfucker. That's okay.
Drop your weapon! Drop it! I repeat, drop it! Now! No! Don't do it! No! It's not worth it! Don't be a fool! Don't do it! Don't kill yourself!